Hello. Oh, hello. Can you hear me now? All right. What about now? All right. Can you hear me okay? Hmm. Okay. Can you hear me all right? If someone can hear me, can they just let me know in chat? I'm just having a little bit of an issue with my OBS this morning. Hello. Anybody there? Wonderful. Thank you so much. Sorry about that, everyone. Just having a little bit of an issue with the OBS for some reason this morning. Not sure why. But now that we seem to be working okay, just let me know if something happens to the audio at some point. Um, Moving on. So, like I was saying, but nobody could hear me, of course, we were just about to dock at Venus. Um, so, what that means is we're going to be coming into the orbital here. Unfortunately, we are very low on RCS. We do not have enough to get there. We'll just not be able to maintain and get into the same orbit as the orbital itself. So, what we'll do is let ourselves fall out of the zone where we can't use our fusion drive. So we'll fall out of that zone, then we'll use the fusion drive, kind of go around the orbital, get in front of it, and then just let ourselves drift back into it. And that should let us dock. All right, so we'll hit play here. Just extend our fast forward map so we can see what's going to happen exactly. Yeah. So we'll reset it again here. And we'll just do a little bit of advancing time, let ourselves kind of drift. Not super, super exciting, but that's okay. The exciting stuff will come in a couple moments here when we get out, and then we'll do some manual torch drive, because I do have plenty of reactant for it. Just wait a moment for us to get out of it. This is, of course, the red line here, for those who don't know too much about astronauts. It's where you can't use your torch drive. But we will start getting our setup here for which direction we want to do our burn in. So we're going to avoid the red line. Come back down into play. Oh, it won't even let us set up the cycle before we're outside. That's all right. Give it another moment here. We'll drift, and there, we're outside the line. We'll activate our fusion drive. Turn a little bit more that way, a little bit more. Perfect. Now, get these two going. You can see our acceleration, 0.78. For our gravity, our g-forces. So this line should start to change a little bit for which direction we're going to end up traveling in here. So we'll just turn a little bit more up our cycle and our flow, watching our core temp doesn't get too high. Touching into the yellow is fine, going down into the yellow is fine, but we really, really do not want to get below that. Yeah, so you can see we've started drifting a little bit of a different direction. And we should be okay. Let's take a look. Yeah, we're a little too late to go across Venus the other direction, which is fine. Although it might be easier. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. We're actually going to flip the direction we're going to do this in and kind of cut across Venus in the other direction and catch the orbital on the other way. There we go. Yeah, so basically what our plan here is just because we ran out of RCS, we're really low, but we have plenty of reactant at the moment. So we're going to let ourselves drift this direction, come around, and probably meet the orbital over here somewhere. Yeah, still not 100% used to how the gravity forces affect everything in astronauts, but that's all right. So we'll just go like this, turn a little bit, and we should be fine to escape Venus's gravity here. Or I'm wrong, and that's okay. What we're gonna do is instead just drift around Venus and accelerate as we come around the other side. On the fly, figuring out exactly how we're gonna deal with this gravity situation. I hope everyone's having a wonderful Sunday, morning for those in North America, afternoon for those on the other side of the Atlantic. I do know I've got a couple people over there, so hopefully it's going well for you today. Just let ourselves drift along for a minute. Okay. As long as we're not in a decaying orbit, we're fine, which we are. Oh, geez. Okay. Oh no, I do not want to go inside that red line. Oh my goodness. Oh, we're gonna die. I'll let it happen, and then I'll reload us to an earlier save. Oh geez. Here we go. Crashing into Venus. Here it goes. Oh, maybe not. All right. Sorry, everyone. So we're just gonna go back here a little bit. We'll just pull it back to before we used up all of our RCS gas here yesterday. Whoopsies. But it happens. Let it reload and we'll give that another try. Venus can be a little bit touchy sometimes, to say the least. Just waiting for it to load. Do do do. It is fun seeing like all of the different names that Blue Bottles put in for ships when they when you're waiting on the load screens. So of course there's all of our automatic little quests and things that they wanted us to do. So where we're at is just before we get to Venus, I believe is where we're at. So we're just cleaning up after working out. Let her finish that, then we'll go take a quick look. Perfect. And I'll probably take over from the autopilot in a moment here. And there we go. Yeah, so we're coming in here. we're not going to end up where we want to exactly. So with that in mind, I'm going to take over from the autopilot and give it a try here. Oh, we're still 16 hours out. Okay. Yeah, so we'll pause it then. Take a look at the orbital. Come over to our target. So just for anyone who's joining us, we crashed into Venus. We're going to give it a try. I reloaded the save that's about 16 hours before we come into Venus. It'll definitely help us. I didn't realize where we were coming in yesterday. And where we were coming in, we end up having to burn a lot of RCS fuel to try and get out and get over to the actual orbital. We don't end up close enough to the orbital for our RCS to be able to burn this distance here between the red line where the torch drive can actually be used versus enough RCS to actually get us there. So with that in mind, what I'm going to aim us to do here instead, I'm going to take over at probably about the 6-ish hour mark for the duration and aim us more forward unless the autopilot can correct a course for us in front of where the station will actually orbit. That's what this line here is where the station orbits around Venus. Okay, so that in mind, perfect. And can you plot a course to there? Reset. Will it plot a course to that point? It will, kind of. Yeah, so it's just the spot in space. It won't actually take us to the orbital itself. Okay, that's fine. So like I was saying, what we'll do then is I can either take over manually, or the other thing I could do is go like this. Wait for it to come around. Yeah, okay, so we need to be 16 hours in the future. Whoop, too far. So this is just the map fast forward. It's helpful for when you're trying to plan out where you're going to land. Well, not land, but where you're going to fly to. That way we can just try and come into the orbital at a better spot here. So if we're 16 hours, 21 minutes. Yeah, see, like, I'd rather hit the orbital when it's coming around Venus. It's much easier to set up the RCS when it's just there, because then you can drift with it. Okay. Plot the course. Reset. Yeah, it still wants us on that side. Okay, so best thing to do here then is we're going to do it manually. Yeah, we're going to do it manually. So we will let her sleep for 6 hours, and then we will take over probably at that point so that we have lots of time to fix things. Yeah, that's fine. You can sleep on a work shift. There we go. Finish our time advance, and now... Whoop. Come on. Oh, are we holding R? We are. So let's just go like this. There we go. Yeah, we should probably have a quick bite to eat before we get her to start doing a whole bunch. Sorry. Hey, come on. Roster. There we go. Yeah, so we've just started our burn into Venus. For anyone joining us, I was just mentioning we did end up not having enough fuel to get to Venus. Just the way that the approach happened was not good, less than ideal. We ended up crashing, very fun. So we're gonna do it a little different. I'm gonna manually take us in here in a minute. Just let her have some food. There we go. Reset. Okay, so that's where we are. That's where we'll end up. And we will try one more time for the autopilot to do its job, but I don't know if it will be able to. So, excuse me, there we go. Yeah, so we have the V orbital done. Yeah, let's see, how do we want to do this? I think what we're gonna do is kill our flow, kill our cycle. We're gonna let ourselves drift a little bit, because that course will be wrong now as soon as we touched it. Yeah, okay, so that's what we'll do. We'll let ourselves get a little closer. Okay, because we're 5 hours. And let's check where the orbital will be in 5 hours. We'll use this one here to check. Pull it ahead. 7 minutes. 20. There's our first hour. Basically, what I'm trying to do is just adjust it so that when we get to Venus, the orbital is on the far side of Venus, because it's much, much easier to connect with it. Yeah, there we go. See, like, I want to hit it there. Yeah. Plot our course. Perfect. Drift phase can be nice and short. It'll give us 2 hours of reactant remaining. And then we'll just check to make sure we're actually going to come in where I want to on the orbital. Good. Perfect. So now we'll engage the... We're paused. Yes? Okay, we're paused. You can't plot a course and engage it unless you're paused, because as soon as you drift, you have to redo the course. There we go. Perfect. So we're slowly going to see the accelerometer. If we sit here, it'll slowly come up. What we're going to do instead, though, is we're going to take care of a couple of needs of Lulu here. And we'll go like that. Have a little bit of water. And then we'll take care of a couple of her social needs so that she's not such an angry little person. Yeah, unnoticed. Oh, go browse some social media, Lulu. Feel better about your life. We're hopefully going to make a nice bit of money on this trade trip. And then everyone in chat, I have a quick question for you. Do we want to think about trying to go to one of the aerostats after we land today, or do we want to think about expanding the ship, or do we want to think about going over to like Mars or something? Another nice long distance travel, some salvage, or go down to the aerostats on Venus. Any strong feelings? I'll let you guys munch on that for a moment. Okay. Slowly getting into a better place. I guess we should check on Daisy too. Yep, Daisy's a little bit hungry, of course, so we'll cancel that. We'll let her have some food. There we go. Let her take care of some of her own things. Good. Come over to you. And great. We'll just do some speed throughs so that they can take care of their needs here quick. Then we'll double check, make sure that the autopilot's actually working correctly and how we expect it to. Great. For anyone joining us, I do see that we're just getting people coming in and out. I do just want to let you guys know we did end up reloading a save before hitting Venus. We did have a crash earlier. Did not go well. We ran out of fuel, couldn't get out of the gravity well. Fun times. So what we ended up doing is pausing our autopilot, taking over manually, doing a slight adjustment, and then resetting up the autopilot. So we should come up to Venus while the orbital is on the far side. It just helps with drift and makes it a lot easier to dock. And then, yeah, that is our plan at the moment. We're just taking care of some of their needs before we get there. Just making sure that our little introverts are happy. And it does look like our uninvited guest, well, they're still not dead, but we'll leave them on the orbital anyway. There we go. Just slow down for a moment, check what you're doing. You know, you could just sleep in a bed. You don't have to sleep on a book. Go sleep. Go get into bed. Heal up. Great, so we'll come over here, do a quick check. So this is just where we should end up on the orbital here. Yeah, much better spot. And I'll probably take over manually somewhere around here, just because I don't want our relative velocity to come right down to 0 and then have to go in using RCS only. I'd rather end up going in using most of the speed from our torch drive, and then once we're not allowed to use the torch drive, I'll manually start slowing down using the RCS for our final approach to the orbital. There we go. Just get you cleaned up a little bit better. Oops, wrong one. I really should just switch out the flasks here. There we go. Never do a long trip in Astronauts without extra water and food. You never want to get stuck out there without either one. It's not good. I think I was mentioning yesterday on one of my trips, I did end up running out of food about 12 to 18 hours out from the orbital. Yeah, we're going to have to rebandage, which is fine. But I was about 12, 18 hours out, and by the time I ended up getting to the orbital, everyone was malnourished and really, really upset. But that happens sometimes. It can, especially on like a long drive, and then everyone gets all grouchy. Not fun. There we go. Get our connection a little bit more for intimacy. And then write home. Well, remember our photo, then write home. There we go. Great. So, should be 12-ish? 12-ish. Great. So we'll get her to sleep for another 6, I think. What time is it? 23? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we'll get you to start. Yeah. So 24, just for those who don't know astronauts too well, the 24th hour is not actually an hour. It's all of, I want to say 28 minutes and 30 seconds. And the lore says it's untime. It's like the downtime where like you're not supposed to work, you're not supposed to like do anything. It's supposed to just be time for actual like life. So you can't change this part of it. But yeah, they explained it like how they stopped using the days, like the Earth day cycle and the number of hours in an Earth day cycle. It's somewhere in the lore. I can't remember it exactly, but yeah, it's interesting. There we go. We're asleep. So now we'll just jump forward. Yeah, we'll say 4. We'll say 4 hours. Check where we're at. Use the nav station. Yeah, just because I don't want us to slow down too much. Yeah, so for another 7, we'll just check where we'll end up being in another 3. Basically, I want to take over manually somewhere around here, or at least start watching around here. Yeah, probably there, because that would be the point where we'd hit 400 kilometers, and I'd rather keep that 400 kilometers right until we're close to docking. That way, it's just a lot less usage of RCS. Yeah, so I think that's what we'll do. So that's 6.5 hours in the future, so we can sleep for another 6, and that would be fine. Great. So we'll let her sleep for 6 more hours. Daisy needs more food. Her poor leg is getting better. We're just overloaded in blisters now instead of... Yep, we do need to rebandage. There we go. Instead of having that broken leg and bleeding. So that nice long trip from K-Leg actually helped her quite a bit. Why are you walking anywhere? Go back to sleep. Great. Sleeping. And we'll give it 6 hours. All right, we'll switch it over to a work shift. And we'll grab some more food, and then we'll take over the flight. Eat some mystery meat. Okay, we've got another couple minutes, so we can have her have a quick drink of water, maybe brush her teeth. Nah, she's good for grooming. Great. All right, back into the nav station. Yeah, see, we'll let the autopilot keep us going for a little bit longer here. Yeah, you can see even from here that we need to speed up to actually get to the orbital. And to the actual cutoff point of where we can use the torch drive. Sorry, a little bit slow this morning. And when we get there, we want to make sure we're still moving at a decent clip. Otherwise, we'll run into issues when we try to use RCS. Okay, I think just while we're doing that, we'll go back over to Daisy for a moment. She can, oops, have some more food. Great. And then get her to use the bathroom. Actually, before we do that, we should actually get her to use another pill. Take some more amoxicillin so that she doesn't get an infection. Take some pain pills. There we go. Back over there. Hop over to Lulu again. Into the nav station, and we're under an hour from Venus. Oh, no, we're an hour and a half. Okay. There we go. Speed it up a bit. Yeah, normally... Yeah, we're gonna wait for it, and in the meantime, I think we'll take care of some more needs real quick. There we go. Long for a better love life. And away we go. Some more of that introvert personality coming out for her. There we go. Those little squares that you see coming over every once in a while, they're things that we can talk about with other people in like conversation. So like a lot of them are about this game called Breakout, which is like a really popular in-universe game. I have no idea what it is, but I do know that people die in it every once in a while or get very, very injured playing it. You'll see like different characters with like old breakout injuries, that kind of thing, and there'll be like news blasts about like somebody dying and whatnot every once in a while. It's a pretty deep world. I know we've talked about it a couple times on the stream, but I really do appreciate the amount of thought and care that's gone into the simulation here, especially as somebody who designs and builds games myself. So it's really neat to see like how much passion's gone into this game. It kind of permeates throughout the entirety of it. You can feel it in all of the different systems, the amount of love they've given this game. Blue Bottle's a super cool company, to be honest. We were also talking the other day a little bit about one of their other games, Neo Scavenger. Again, another really good one. I've heard people like refer to it as the hobo simulator, and to be honest, that's not a bad description. And this game, Astronauts, happens in the same universe, in fact, like same game universe, if you will. And there's like this major cataclysmic event that's made Earth not uninhabitable, but to like everyone in Astronauts, it's uninhabitable because they can't land on it. They can't get to it because something's going on in the atmosphere, essentially. So it's kind of interesting that way that they've continued some of that storyline into their second game, Astronauts, after Neo Scavenger. But yeah, so we're just coming up on Venus here. I don't trust the super fast forward at this point. We're a little too close. I don't want to lose too much relative velocity to the autopilot at this point. We are at 50k relative velocity at the moment, but I don't want to let us drop below probably about 500. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Just make sure we keep her stats up while we're waiting. I know this is not the most interesting part, but trying to go too quick in this can end up with what happened earlier today, where we crash into Venus. Okay, so she's actually in good shape. Normally I have a book for her, but, you know, we've got a lot of her stats figured out. The only one we're really missing is the software engineering and finishing training up her fitness, her strength, and armed melee combat, but I think I may have actually found a book earlier for software. Sometimes you just kind of forget what you do and don't have kicking around. And it does help just to kind of go through and take a look every once in a while. Yeah, like business and the construction, which she's already got both of. So we'll check these ones. Another battery charger that we'll probably plug in at some point. Yeah, not there. That one's another construction textbook, hacking textbook. Yeah. Yeah, okay, so we don't have a software engineering one, but it's not a big deal. The only thing I've run into where software engineering is useful is for resetting like locks and whatnot. Maybe what we'll do, just while we're waiting, is check our RCS tanks, because I know we're not at 100% at the moment, and it would be nice to be at as high a number as we can before we come into Venus. There we go. So we'll just switch that tank out. That one's full, mostly full, and full. Great. All right, hop back in, 56 minutes. Not that it's gonna take us that long to actually do this, but 64, great. Yeah, so here I think is where we're going to kill our autopilot for a minute, because I don't mind us getting a bit closer. Yeah, because we're naturally coming down in speed at this point, which is fine. There we go. You can kind of see right here, probably pretty small on a lot of people's screens, just I do have a really large screen, which makes it really nice for this kind of stuff. But there is a little bit of a, this is where you're going, your current direction is headed. Okay. Play. So we're just gonna kill our flow and our cycle here for a moment. Because I do want to be moving quick still. Great. Yeah. We'll open back up full. Knocking down our poor crew member. There we go. 46, 45. Great, so what we're gonna do is just double check using the auto. Oh, plot course. Yeah, that's a weird one. Yeah, so we're not going to let the autopilot do its thing this time then. We're just going to keep doing it our way here. We'll flip over to the ship though. There we go. 13 minutes. Yeah, we should be fine. Okay. All right, final approach into Venus. Gotta shed some more speed. Come on, you can do it, ship. Come on. Worst case scenario, we miss it and end up in front of it before it comes around the other side, which would be totally fine. Less than ideal, but fine. Okay, come on. Yeah, we're gonna miss it. Yeah, we're going... Sorry, just trying to think of which directions I need to maneuver here to be able to do this properly. There we go. Yeah, because it'll cut out our torch drive before we get there. Yeah, okay, so I think what we're going to do then is we're going to adjust ever so slightly. Yeah. Oop. Still spinning. Stop spinning. Twitchy, twitchy. Still spinning. There we go. Kill the spin. Yeah, so we're going to be going way too quick. To be able to stop ourselves with RCS. That's alright. What we'll do is let ourselves drift past it. Kill my torch drive before they force it. Shoot, I missed it. That's okay. Yeah, so we're just going to go right past the orbital here. And then we will probably meet it on the other side. Hopefully. Hopefully it goes well enough that we meet it on the other side. Yeah. Should have taken more time setting up my course from K-Leg, but that's okay. Yeah, so great lesson here is that taking the extra time before you head out from one place to another in astronauts, taking a look at the different gravity fields and like how they're going to affect your travel, very important. It's definitely easiest to dock with Venus when it's right here. Sorry, with the orbital when it's right here. Lowest gravity works the best. Are we still slowing down? We are not. So we will kick our cycle back on. Oop. That's not great. Core temp being high is not great. Let's pull this down. Wait for it to come back down to a normal temperature. There we go. Great. Let's see what autopilot wants to try and do for us. Yeah, I actually like that a lot better. 0.75 still gives us lots of reactant. We'll end up exactly where I want. Great. Great. Okay. And how long is it going to take? 0.75 of an hour. Great. Oh, plot the course. Course. Plot the course. Course engage. Plot. Venus orbital. Plot. Course. Okay. Maybe it won't let us do it. That's fine. Yeah, it's not going to. That's fine. All right, just give it a minute. Okay. Yeah, so it wants us over there to be able to plot that particular course. That's not going to happen. That's fine. Slow down. Come on, keep slowing down. Coming down. Great, can we replot it? We can, and we'll end up exactly where we need to be. Oh, we're on play. That's fine. Plot the course and engage. There we go. There we go. Sometimes just a little bit of manual, a little bit of autopilot, and it gets us going in the right direction. Again, we'll probably kill the autopilot just before we get there. That way we don't lose all of our speed. But we'll give it a little bit more time because we're coming in at a much better angle this time. All right, while that's happening, we'll let our character take care of a couple of her needs again. Great. Have some water. Freshen up with that. Brush our teeth. Nice clean teeth is never a bad thing. 33 minutes out. Great. Just double check, make sure that I'm not making a big mistake here. Great. Or not. What? What just happened? Huh. Huh. I have no idea what just happened. I wonder if we glitched into Venus or something. Okay, we'll reload. Yeah, I guess, but it didn't look like there was anything there. Okay, just double check our time. Yeah, that one's fine. We'll load that one. That was weird. I guess we crashed into something. Maybe the autopilot tried to take us through Venus and I missed it. All right, let's take a look. I've never had this much of an issue docking with the Venus orbital. That's okay. Load in. Great. There's all the random bits. try and plot it to there again. Plot it to there. Yeah, okay. I'm not 100% sure what's going on, but that's fine. We will do it manually for a moment again here. That's what it is. Yeah, I think it glitched us through Venus without warning. That would be my bet. Okay, that's fine. We will set our course a little differently then. We'll just let ourselves slow down. Keep going, slow down. Probably bring our speed down a bit. Well, a lot to be honest. We don't need to brake this hard. There we go. Drift a little. Open our cycle, open our flow. There we go. Coming back down to 12, 11. We do actually want our speed basically to almost come to 0 kilometers, not meters. We'll keep it at 5, I think, to be safe, though. There we go. Yeah, because we'll still continue to slow down because of Venus a little bit. We'll come around the other side and then accelerate into the orbital, ignoring our autopilot entirely so that it doesn't kill us this time. Great. Okay. So this is just the fast forward view of the map to see like the different plotted positions, and then we should start accelerating to get to the orbital, probably just before we hit that point. Great. There we go. And you can see like the gravity is having the effect of just slowing us down naturally without us having to use the torch drive, so we can save fuel that way. And you can see it's wrapping us around. Out of curiosity, I'm going to see what the autopilot would do from here. Interesting. Yeah, it's a little further than I would like it to. Along its path. Okay, so what we'll do is we will let it play. And we'll engage. There we go. All right, so we're manually coming into Venus here. This is where the autopilot was saying it would take us, but we're trying to get a little in front of it. There we go. Great. So we're just gonna see what autopilot says now. Yeah, okay. So I think we'll let it engage that course. No, because then we're gonna be chasing it again. I'd rather not chase it. So to keep from chasing it, I think our best bet is to just flip our ship the direction, and we'll engage our torch drive again and see if we can't line up properly this time. Just want to make perfectly sure that I'm lined up properly for our torch drive. There we go. Great. Yeah, that'll let us fall too far, so we'll kill that. Huh. Oop, 10 months. That's too far. 44. Alright. Let's pause it, plot, let autopilot take over for a bit. Get us close. There we go. Oop. Oh, it really doesn't like that course. Okay. There we go. Oh, goodness. Yeah, we'll just let it go for a little bit longer here. Oh, gotta pay our... Oh my gosh, I have missed a bunch of payments. Whoops. For some ferries and salaries. My goodness. At least it's not big late fees. Back into the nav station. Finish this out. There we go. Coming in. A couple more moments. Do we need anything? No, we're good. Speeding up. Okay, coming into the orbital. We're moving way quicker than I would have liked to be. Whew, that's quite the shake. There we go. Slowing down. Great. Coming in at a nice angle this time. Whole lot of being careful about it, but we got there. Hit the end of our course in just a moment. And there it is. So we'll actually kill our cycle ourselves so that we maintain a little bit of speed. Yeah, we're gonna hit that no wake zone probably too quick, but that's okay. Map control. Line up for that orbital. Flip around. And there we go. Our bearing is 350. Let's open up our flow and our cycle, see if we can't get a little bit of a boost going in. We cannot. That's fine. Let's hopefully be able to burn. Shouldn't take too much RCS to get there, but it'll take a bit. Maybe have to switch my tanks halfway there. Maybe. But we should be okay. There we go. Speed up a little bit here. That is one of the nice things about using the speed settings is it'll tell us exactly like, okay, this is the estimated course that you're going to be going in at. There we go. Slow down. Slow down. Man, this took so much more time than I thought it was going to take us to land at Venus. Last couple times I did it, it took like, showed up at Venus and just, there we go. Gotta be a little bit more careful about my planning next time. Okay, so we will switch a couple tanks out real quick, just so that we have enough for sure as we dock. Get to the N2 can. Double check that I actually did just put a new one in. I did, good. That one should be a new one. That one should be a new one. And we'll hop back in to the nav station. There we go. Flip our map control again. Take a look. Yeah, okay. There we go. Oh man, come on. Okay. Okay. Oh, geez, we're gonna run out of RCS again. Like, I think we'll be fine, but I'm gonna have to try and be quick about it. And toucan. Okay, that one's got some. This one is empty. This one is not. That one is empty. That one's empty. All right, here we go. Hopefully we don't totally run out of RCS this time. Slow time down a little. Come back to normal speed. Hail Venus orbital, we'll dock. Venus does, of course, have the two different places to dock. And we're not lined up. Slow down. There we go. Not too bad. Get under 100 meters a second so that we can dock, and the clamps will work. Lined up. Slow down a little bit more. A little bit more. No, geez, come on, come on. Oh, now I'm going in the wrong direction. Oh no. Come on. I'm out of RCS. So close. Hopefully there's enough in that 102 tank to get us to actually dock. Nope. Oh my god, I can't believe I missed it. I missed my docking moment. Ouch. I do still have a couple more tanks on board, so we'll just kind of try and get ourselves moving in the correct direction here, and then I will switch tanks if I need to, but I'm hoping that O2 tank will have enough. Looks like it might. Yeah, looks like we're gonna have enough. There we go. There we go, my goodness. And a little bit quicker. A little bit quicker. Don't slow down too much. Come on. Oh, I missed the clamp. There we go. Oh my goodness. That was probably the most difficult time I've ever had docking at Venus by a absolute long shot. But we are finally at Venus. Yay. Yay, Venus. All right, so let's go take a look around again. So Venus looks a lot different than K-Leg, a lot nicer looking, a lot more people walking around. Let's head over to that trade kiosk, make some money. Yay, get paid. Great, so we bought these for like between 30 and 70,000 at K-Leg. We're gonna sell them for 300K. Ooh, that is a nice payday. My goodness, is that a good payday. All right, come on. There we go. Wildly good payday. We've already more than made our money back. That one right there just brought us in line with making money, and we still have a couple more, a lot more cargo holds to deal with here. And we're still over 300K a piece, and we didn't pay more than 70 a piece for the most expensive one. There we go. Oh, goodness. Okay, so do we want to go down to the aerostats on Venus, or do we want to try and head to Mars or somewhere else, or do we want to build up our ship? I'm kind of leaning towards the build up the ship a bit better, maybe add a second fusion drive so that when we have this, oh, that's what it is. I've never traveled that far with this much mass. That's why it took so long to get here and why it was so hard to dock with the orbital. Oh, why didn't I think about that? Mass plays such a huge role in this game. And like, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, oh my god, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 odd, 7 or 8 full cargo holds of over 1,000. Ooh, 6 million, 6.5 million. So our payday was over 4 million today. Wow. That is definitely the most money I've ever made in one go in Astronauts, and definitely the most I've had sitting in my account on Astronauts before, by a long shot. I've never really done too much trading in Astronauts, so this was good. Lovely. Okay, so the orbital, the V orbital here is where we are, and then these are the aerostats. I don't know if there's anything, yeah, in Canto. So this is the Venus and Canto aerostat. So it might be worth doing a short trip there. Or for the hull parts. But the ship that I have right now is definitely not strong enough to visit the aerostats. I'm just going to adjust the volume here real quick of people walking around. It's a little loud in my ear while we're wandering around the station here. All right, actually, before I forget, before we do anything, I should refuel. That is the first thing. We'll leave our HE3 in the heavy water for now, but we will refill our RCS, our O2, and our N2, and probably move around our tanks, make sure that the extras are filled, maybe even pick up a couple tanks while we're here. couple new ones. So, scrap. Let's see if they have anything good to buy. Sometimes you can just buy things and flip it for like a good value right away, right from the scrap dealers. Other times they have like really useful parts for you to buy as well. Especially for like going down to Venus, you need those rotors, like these right here, the heavy lift rotors. They're what you use in the Venus atmosphere. The other problem with taking this ship into the Venus atmosphere is it's not plastic, and you can have plastic ships. They are specifically for landing on Venus. Well, when I say landing on Venus, I mean the aerostats in this case. So we'll take a look, see if they have any. Yeah, so they've got some cheapies. Certainly that would help. Let's take a look. Another one adapted for atmospheric flight. I do not like open bridges personally, but it appears that is their favorite thing to do. Oh, they're not totally open. Okay, it's just open that way. The way they class different ships can be confusing sometimes. Another little personal shuttle, another personal shuttle. Yeah, they're pretty small ones. Let's see if they've got any. Oh yeah, it's just the one that I visited last time I was here. That's not for landing, that's for sure. Yeah, so we could do some salvaging. Maybe we'll do that. Do some salvage around Venus. Up our RCS, do some salvage. See if we can't find the parts we need. Build a better ship that can land on Venus, or we could travel to Mars. Or head back to K-Leg and do some salvage out there, but I won't find rotors at K-Leg for sure. Is that somebody just like dead on the station? Somebody dying? Yeah, man, you're in bad shape, random person. So this is Venus, kind of neat to look around in. It does have two actual places you can dock on the orbital itself. It's so that you can keep a ship here that's specifically for atmospheric travel, which is probably what we'll end up doing, is have two ships, one for atmosphere, one for our actual trade journeys. And yeah, let's take a look at the habitation part of it here. So this is just like the different parts, because you can buy I think you can buy somewhere to live on the orbital. I'm not sure about the Venus one, I can't remember. But yeah, it's just kind of pretty. You have these window blocks on it. You can see Venus in the background a bit. It's nice. Oh yes, and of course the medical kiosk, which we'll visit. Oh no, we're good. Our injury is not hurting us anymore. Take a look, see if we want to buy anything that they've got. Nah. We're pretty good on our medical goods at the moment. We will head back up to the transit area. Go over to port and cargo. There we go. Loading, loading. I think I'll actually give it a quick, proper save. Just in case something glitches out on us. I had a really bad crash the other day when I was streaming. Astronauts just decided to completely give up on me. It was very unfortunate. There we go. Okay. So, let's check the ferry out, see how much it is to just get down to the aerostats on the ferry. Not too bad, but I do kind of want to see if they have other ships for sale. And it's just a few thousand a piece. Yeah, okay, let's do that. We've got like 6 million to burn. Let's check out the other aerostats, do a quick walkthrough of them, and then maybe we'll buy a ship if one of them has a good price. There, oh my god, it's 2 hours? I don't want to wait 2 hours for that. Yeah, we'll just speed ahead 2 hours. There we go. Feeling a bit hungry, so we'll deal with that. We'll actually grab our case here. Oop, there we go. Grab our case. That's not ours. That is Daisy's. So we'll grab that one. We'll check in on Daisy before we leave. You're thirsty, is it? Yeah, you're thirsty. So go grab some water. Nope. You're just that slow because you're still hurt. All right. That was also not our case. There we go. This is the right one. And we'll go inventory. Wrong one. There we go. Right one. We'll eat. There we go. Now have her drink. And the ferry should be pretty quick now. We should be like 40-ish minutes, 45 minutes. Pass, that's what I'm looking for, 40 minutes. Okay, that's not too bad. Okay, so let's check what we look like for our stats. Take care of that again. Browse some social, long for a better love life. Browse some social. The other thing we'll do is we will flip our N2 cans. There we go. That one should be empty, yeah? Yeah. Yeah, so like it only fills cans that are actually hooked up to the RCS system. It doesn't just fill all of the cans that you have sitting around, which would be lovely if it did, but it doesn't. There we go, and then we'll probably have a couple more empty ones. And I think just because of how hard it is to maneuver in Venus, we'll probably hook up another Mira, because I do have another one on board, if not two. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've got a second one down here, or a third one rather. Yeah, there's one, and then I think there's one in a chest, in like one of the storage areas somewhere. We should also check our reactor, make sure nothing's damaged while we're down here. Sorry for the bright white, everybody. Yeah, then we should definitely do some repair again on the cargo pods. But yeah, we're in good shape. Great. Okay. So with that in mind, where do we want to stick our extra intake for now? Maybe we'll leave it. We'll leave it for the moment. We'll think about it. Think about where we want to put the other intake. Maybe what we'll do is before we add the other intake, we'll extend down here so that the other HE3 tank can actually go where it's going to be permanently going. And then add in the extra RCS where it's supposed to be up here. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. So we'll just extend some time here for a moment. Come over here, do some repairs. Come on. There we go. Having some lag issues with the game. All right, you work on there for a minute. Yeah, so the cargo pods, when you do a repair on them, actually, what happens is you always go to the end where the control panel is, and that's always where you affect repairs, other than if it's broken. If it's broken, you have to be beside it. So earlier when we were going around the ship yesterday, and just repairing all of the different cargo pods. I forgot to repair this one once we were back inside. I just didn't want Lulu opening all of the airlocks multiple times. There we go. Yeah, sometimes it just gets stuck. Sometimes simulating certain things, and if you just like let it slow down for a minute, it goes back to normal. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we're having issues simulating. We'll give it a minute. Just 4 times speed. While she's doing that, we'll check our pass, see how far out we are. 29 minutes, so we'll just try speeding up our time to 8, see if it still maintains properly. Good. Yeah, we're having problems with 16 times speed. That's okay. Okay. So we'll close that. Oh my goodness. There we go. Yeah. The Sim's having a couple issues. There we go. And before I forget, we're actually going to drag this person. Our uninvited guest can leave forcibly. And we'll see if anybody arrests her, saves her life, because I can't do first aid. I've tried. Oh, she's a pirate. That's why. I try not to hire pirates, but I guess I did by accident. And that would explain why she wouldn't leave my ship. Fun times having pirates on board. This is our poor dead crew member that died a long time ago. Now, well, not that long ago. It feels like a long time. It was just yesterday. But that's all right. All right. You need more water, Daisy. Oh my God, you are. Oh, you're stuck. That's why our entire sim's been having an issue. It's been trying to just do her, get her into the right spot, and it can't. There we go. Have some water. Drink some more. Drink some more. You were almost dehydrated because you were stuck there so long. Great. Go back to sleep. Heal your broken leg entirely because you're still in severe pain. Okay, there we go. Can we repair this without having a whole meltdown now? The answer is yes. Yes, we can. I am sure that's what the issue was. And I spoke too soon. That's all right. There we go. Maybe if I just stand here and simulate time for a minute, it'll be okay. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so we'll just simulate time, speed up fast here. We're just going to travel down to one of the aerostats through the pass system. And we're going to see if they have any more atmospheric ships that can do a little bit of space travel, just make it a little easier on us because our main ship is very heavy. And just like I was mentioning earlier, it's not made out of plastic. And if it's not made out of plastic, then the Venus atmosphere will actually eat your ship. I haven't tried going into it with a metal ship yet, but it's also not something I want to test with the main ship. Yeah, so. Yeah, so we're headed to Cloudbreak. That's what VCBR is. Venus Cloudbreak. Yeah. And the pass system's nice. It just kind of provides local travel. I think I used it on stream 2 days ago when we were just doing some of the salvaging around um, Venus and not Venus, sorry, around K-Leg when we were flipping um, that yacht that we sold. But yeah, that's why like I don't really do flips too much, by the way, is because that flip we made like 700K off it, and this one trade between Venus and K-Leg, we did a multi-million dollar run. So it's hard to justify flipping ships the whole time. Great. So this is the ferry screen. We just board our shell, confirm. Gives us a nice little thing that it's a small vessel, mostly a mix of people moving around in the void. Um, yeah, it's kind of neat. A little bit of fun stuff. Arrive at our destination, and away we go. The Cloudbreak Aerostat. Come on, you can do it. There we go. Welcome to Cloudbreak, the smallest Venetian aerostat. Active science station Cloudbreak is rather unremarkable compared with its neighbors. Cloudbreak's population is minimal. Most residents are studious, collaborating on research and develop new technology while studying Venus's atmosphere, climate, and surface. I'm not reading it word for word, just a quick rundown. It's still Venus, so there's plenty of influencers, documentarists, drama mongers waiting for Cloudbreak to have its day. One such possibility is brewing factionalism, pitting Cloudbreak and Encanto against the more powerful New Cal. Cloudbreak welcomes any aerostat construction tech you're willing to sell. Pacific Airlines is okay. What's going on? Oh, okay, it just like did it twice for us for whatever reason. So this is a view of the aerostat. This is Cloudbreak. And now you can see like our background changed again into like what the clouds above Venus might look like. Of course, this is like where you would dock your ship. Again, kiosk for fuel, the light. Oh, somebody is talking to us. Oh, somebody wants $250. Should we give somebody random 250? Just help people out a little bit? Be a little less selfish? What do we think, chat? Yes? No? Be altruistic, maybe? Okay, we'll be altruistic. Give some money to Rosif. Rosif? Rosif. Middle-aged, beautiful person with emphysema, originally from K-Leg. They do not have citizenship. Their career is a shipbreaker, so like salvaging person. So this person would actually probably make a decent employee. Probably. But we're not looking for employees at the moment, so we're just gonna leave that lady alone. Randomly hand out $250. We can handle it with our 6 million. So I do know that like some of these self-care facilities will have different medical services. So sometimes it's worth checking them out. Nothing at this one. Let's check out our supplies. Just standard. These are all just like your standard like supplies, compression leggings. Those are fun. I have not seen those. I do not have a pair of those. Stable garment expecting high G maneuvers. This design provides some resistance to G-lock and strain by preventing blood pooling in lower extremities. Very cool. We're gonna definitely pick those up. That is not standard. We'll take a little bit of a more careful look here. Oh, that's cool. They sell price visualization cartridges. So when you're in the PDA, you can actually like look at different views of your ship and whatnot, like we were doing before with the damage view and a couple of other ones. That one's for price specifically. If you don't have the business admin, it'll tell you like what things are valuable, like what the most valuable parts of a ship are if you're stripping one too. It's useful. Like earlier game, I do have one sitting in one of the um, inventories. Cool. So we'll grab those compression leggings and use them in the future. Very neat. Fuel, fuel. We could hack into their reactor core. We're not going to, but we could. Same with the nav station. Fun. I feel like it's missing people. For some reason, there's only one person here. Huh. Could have sworn there was supposed to be more. Some random racks. Let's take a look. Why not? Some food. We'll head back up. Head over here, take a look. I don't think we're going to find anything else interesting here. Yeah, we're not. That's all right. Cool. So that was Cloudbreak. We are going to grab the ferry again. Hopefully it's a little quicker this time. And we'll head to one of the other arrows. Oh, that's the fuel one. There we go. Nope, that is also not what we wanted to do. I guess there isn't a ferry terminal here even. Oh, okay. Definitely thought there was more at this one. That's fine. Oh, that's our views. Wrong button. Go back to our pass, and great. We will head over to Encantido? Still no idea how to say that one. Advanced speed. There we go. So we'll head over there in a moment, check our own stats, how we're doing, take care of that a little bit, take care of it a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Always can do more. So much. There we go. Browse the social app. Browse it a bit more. Remember our family. Write home. And actually, that's right. That was the other thing we're going to do while we're here. Not necessarily on this particular one, but we were going to go and visit Lulu's parents, if I can find them again. Stranger, stranger, stranger. Friend, crew, crush, you're dead though. Stranger, stranger, stranger. There we go. Yeah, so you're not, and neither are you. Neither of them are on Venus. They were at one point, one of them. Yeah, I'm sure there's some fun story about this couple getting together, a criminal and a law enforcement officer finding love in the void of space. I'm sure you could make some nice, beautiful story about that somehow. I'm sure wouldn't even be that hard, in fact. Okay, we will check in on our pass again. 8 minutes. There we go, almost there. And we're going to finish up here in about 15 minutes. So I think today what we'll finish up doing is just taking a look at a couple more. We'll take a look at the aerostat that I can't pronounce, and then we'll head over to Long Beach Aerostat, and that'll be it for today. And then if anyone has any requests for what we do next time, probably most likely we'll do some salvage around Venus, or buy some more cargo and just head right off to our next destination. I'm not sure whether it's going to be K-Leg or Mars, or maybe we'll head out to the moon of Titan or somewhere else like that. Do some more exploring of the system, because that is definitely something I want to get done in the next couple streams. And I won't be streaming Astronauts tomorrow. I'm thinking I might do Timberborn instead for tomorrow, or take the day off. I haven't really decided yet. So that's a real estate. This is our shipbroker one, so we'll access the shipbroker, see what they have. Yeah, so they've got like some more passenger shuttles, some more commuter shuttles. I don't think I'll do the legal resident of K-Leg, but I'm definitely going to do a legal residence somewhere. I was kind of thinking maybe I'd check all of the different stations in the system and then decide after that. They're supposed to be pretty similar, but you know, I still just kind of want to try it. I think Series is supposed to be different a bit already, but I'm not sure. But yeah, any requests though, Varric? Like, do you want to see some more salvage? Do you want to see another trade run to a different part of the system? Back to K-Leg for a bit? Stick around Venus maybe? Yeah, so it's just some more little arrow shuttles. Nothing too big. Oop, there we go. Oh, at least there's a bar here at this one. That's fun. Big toilet space. Big HVAC area. Whew. Good bit more space here. We could also run some gigs, or we could go after the actual plot of the game too. That might be fun. Yeah, this is fun. You can tell it's supposed to be a lot bigger than the other ones. There is. I'm not too sure what it is exactly for the quest line, but we could look into it for sure. Try and find exactly what it is. Check out the supply station here. Maybe find something else cool. I feel like grabbing another set of compression leggings for the crew members is a good choice. So we'll just grab that one while we're here. Some more kiosks. Oh look, scrap kiosk. Interesting. Wraith drone decoy. I have not used drones too much yet. They have Kalon plastic, so this is what you fix the plastic bits of walls with that we were talking about earlier. Another Mira intake. Man, scrap is a lot more expensive here. This is what these sell for fixed up out at K-Leg. And K-Leg broken like this, they're like 16 or something. Not that we're on any monetary restriction, to be honest. So many TVs. Alright, so let's yeah, we still got another 10 minutes, so I think what we'll do then is we will stay here, order the ferry. We'll order the ferry and we'll look into the String of Deaths, the Championship, RCS racers, and see if we can't, and the Beloved Entertainer missing, because I don't know which one of those three is the Venus quest line. And then of course Perpetual Foods is the meat. Okay, so let's order our pass to the last terminal, which is Long Beach. Great, so Beloved Entertainer. Camilla Middlemist, aka Miss M, went missing without a trace, creating a major media sensation in and around Venus. Her spouse, a championship Encantado circuit racer, has been brought in for questioning by authorities. There we go, we found the Venus quest line. We'll check the other two still, and then maybe we'll try talking to some people in the different aerostats about all this. String of Deaths. Watching more closely, there's a mysterious string of deaths out at K-Leg region and beyond. Apparently spacers are being found deceased with no obvious cause beyond a blackened handprint on their body. You find more coverage of the strange deaths. In addition to necrotized skin tissue in the shape of a hand with inhumanly long fingers, many of the victims appear to be loners and outcasts. In one case, a victim's entire residence had been ransacked and certain storage drives were stolen. So maybe we'll follow that up too at some point. And Champion RCS. Watching the TV a little more closely, we learn about the Venusian racing icon Rex Corin and her recent scandals. Phenomenon RCS racer Rex Corin won a record fourth Grand Primo do Encantado this week. Suspicion and intrigue surrounded the otherwise joyous occasion as the racer's spouse, lounge singer Camilla Middlemist, remains missing. Yeah, so those two were linked. Big surprise, those two were linked. You know what? We will watch about the perpetual food source as well here. Start in on everything here with the different plots. You watch the TV more closely and find out more about the Uber Corp experiments pursuing a supposed infinite source of food. You feel able to see the silver lining in everything. You learn of a failed bioengineering lab outside of Thrasis landing on Mars, where Brave New World LLC was experimenting on goats. Ooh, interesting. All right, so we got another couple minutes here. Why don't we talk to this person about missing celebrities? See what we can find out. Alexandra gladly gossips with us about the missing celebrity, including salacious rumors about foul play, superstitious possible causes, and personal stories of relationships with them before they died. Interesting. And now we're going to ask about theories on Camilla. She says they probably couldn't handle the attention and ran off. She's done it before, after all. Fun. Let's ask for some theories on black handprints. She glances around the room and starts to say something before waving you off. Interesting. Also, she is blacking out. So fun. Why not? Let's talk about some hunger insecurities. And they just tell us a dark joke about it. Fun. So we are going to reassure this person, because why not? Make them feel better. They take a deep breath, they nod, and we're going to go and talk to this person about, well, we have to express personal theories, I guess, next. That's all right. We'll discuss news of infinite foods instead. They nod and listen intently. Let's express our theory. And they add some details to support whatever our theory is, apparently. Interesting. And the black handprints. And add some more bits and pieces to support our theory. How interesting. The other thing we will end up doing, by the way, is when we get back to our ship, we'll hack the terminal about infinite foods, get some more information about it that way. For now, what we'll do is we will take a quick look around, see if we can't find anybody that was mentioned. I don't see anyone that was mentioned in anything. Cool. But we will head over to the barkeepers, because who would know more than a bartender, right? Well, apparently they don't have anything to say about it, either thing, so that's fine. We'll probably have to wait a little bit of time before we'll get more information about those quest lines. That's fine. We'll just speed up here, head over to the other aerostat, and then we'll wrap things up. And yeah, that will be it for today. And watch for the schedule, and I'll post nice and early for when the next time I'm going to stream Astronauts is. I'm thinking it'll probably be Tuesday, but we'll see. Another couple moments here. And just waiting for our ferry over. Yeah, it's pretty. This one. Yeah. Very nice. Oh, what is this? Just before we left. The truth is out there. Meet with Middlemist Detective in the Venusian Lounge. Okay, so says she noticed you were looking closely into the Black Handprint deaths and Camilla Middlemist case. They're connected, and Detective Maria Reeves knows more. You should visit the detective in a bar called Sol Vermelho Lounge in Encanto Aerostat. If you can't get a ship down well to the Aerostat, you can take the pass system from the Venus orbital. Interesting. I think we're going to pursue that real quick. We still have 5 minutes left till we're done today, but we're going to skip the other Aerostat to pursue that. So we'll cancel it, pay the fee, and go back to a normal speed, and we'll head over to the lounge. Fun. The other thing we're going to do is make sure we pay our fees, because we have a $22,000 fee from being docked. There we go. Yeah, just all our fees, air exchange fees, dockage fees, the ferry, and into the lounge. Where's the... I would assume that's the lounge, right? All right, let's go to our tasks. Wrong one. Gigs? Nope. It'll be goals, that's what it is. Truth is out there. Just get rid of some of these. There we go. Oh, she's not here. It definitely said she was here. That's all right. Maybe that's a good place to pick up next time. All right, so yeah, I think we'll end it here then. So basically where we're at for the end of this stream is we've just landed at Venus. We're going to work a little bit on the Venus. I'm just going to turn down the music in the background a little bit here, just so that I can hear myself a little bit better. Audio. There we go. That's a bit better. So we've landed at Venus. We've gone to a couple of the aerostats. We still have one more aerostat to visit before we visited all of them. We've also started working on the Venus plotline, so we'll get that taken care of while we're here as well. And that's where we'll pick up next time for the stream. I think it will likely be Tuesday for Astronauts. Stay tuned to the schedule, grab a follow so that you can see when it gets updated. And I think tomorrow we may look into playing a bit of Timberborn, a really fun game, another indie game. It's a little different than Astronauts in that instead of being a space sim, it's like a city building sim with beavers. It's honestly a heck of a lot of fun. It's really cute, those beavers running around building like a civilization after the fall of humankind kind of thing. It's post-apocalyptic, and they just came out with a big automation update, so it might be fun to check that out together. But yeah, with that in mind, thank you everybody so much for joining me this morning, watching, and bearing with me through the difficulties with the mic first thing, and then our difficulties of actually getting to the Venus orbital. I've never had such a hard time with it. And yeah, thanks everybody. Have a great day. Bye now.